Hello! Welcome to this episode of the FANMEN podcast. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Hogarty.
Happy Saturday.
Captain Marvel Day.
Saturday, boys.
Day. So we didn't see this one early like we did Aquaman, but we're going to see Captain Marvel today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my daughter because it's a character she's semi-familiar with and she likes all the Marvel movies.
I'm taking my daughter because she runs the house.
Yes. Exactly.
She said she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking myself because
He's the only man in the room.
I technically did not. I asked my wife if she wanted to come, but she's got stuff going on. We have family
She's got a
stuff.
thing.
And your kids aren't as much into the superhero world.
They actually really are into the Marvel movies and stuff. So I think they will enjoy seeing this. They haven't seen Aquaman yet, but I think that just came out on like iTunes or something.
Yeah,
so I'll probably watch Aquaman in the next.
Okay.
So they probably would enjoy this, but since I didn't want to have them kicking around while we were trying to review afterwards and stuff like that.
Cool.
So all by myself.
Yeah. So today Captain Marvel comes out. Or yesterday Captain Marvel came out. Reviews are mixed, so we'll see how it goes. But this 4-week span there's actually technically 2 Captain Marvel movies coming out.
Dos
Marvelos.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Carol Danvers Marvel Captain movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Marvel Captain Marvel movie.
Marvel Captain Marvel
Marvel
movie.
Captain Marvel, Marvel Doctor. Coming out this weekend.
Right.
I believe it's April 5th.
It sounds right, yeah.
Something like
is the weekend that Shazam comes out, quote unquote.
Yeah.
However,
Big with tights.
yes, big with tights. However, Shazam's name technically is Captain Marvel.
that. Mm-hmm.
There was some lawsuit stuff. Captain Marvel was created in the 40s by Fawcett Comics. I think we talked about that before. DC, or what was DC back then, sued Fawcett Comics because it was too close to Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
They won. Fawcett Comics folded. Then later on in the 70s, I think, DC acquired the rights to publish Captain Marvel books.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some back and forth stuff with them. And as of New 52, they call him Shazam. But if you're old school, you call him Captain Marvel.
So
Even growing up, you still knew the character by both names.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Shazam when I was growing up.
when did Marvel Comics start doing stuff?
67. God bless Stan. Never missed an opportunity. So all you had to do
in
was
the Fawcett rights hole.
you just made the character different. It's not
Yeah.
because the DC Captain Marvel Shazam is essentially Superman.
It is.
It's a kid in
just
Superman's
magic
body.
base instead of...
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
It's not the same origin.
Mhm.
Yeah, because even if you watch the... which is funny, I was watching one because it's on the DC app now, the old
Yeah,
Mike Gray or whatever it is, or
Mhm.
was that Mike?
I don't remember. I just know I watched it as a
Yeah,
kid.
I remember the show.
Yeah, the show. God, was that show fucking horrible. I was like, gosh, be just like Incredible Hulk, kind of cheese. I'm like, no, Incredible
No. It was way
Incredible Hulk
easier.
looks like Gone with the Wind compared to that thing. But in the show, he turns into Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Billy Batson turns into Captain Marvel. So this is
by
one of two.
saying Shazam.
By saying Shazam.
Mhm.
So
But we're not seeing that.
we're not
today.
seeing that one today. But this is one of two. So it's gonna be funny because we can actually do like kind
Pre
of
and post.
the real Captain Marvel. Will the real Captain Marvel please stand up? So this one is Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers on the Marvel side of the things. She is, I think, what they want for her is they want her to be the character that leads the Avengers team into Phase 3 or whatever we're at now.
Right.
In the books, she currently is an Avenger. I think she's one of the leaders.
I think she's leading one of the groups.
Yeah, she's leading one of the groups. They like typical Marvel comic shit. They just have 900 Avengers teams and 85 million X-Men teams.
Isn't there one that's going to be with like Ghost Rider and Punisher?
Oh,
like
dude, I
some
don't even
random,
fucking know anymore. I can't read that crap. It's horrible.
Pretty
But
much.
so Captain Marvel, the character, dates way back. As Chris just mentioned, Stan worked on it. The original Captain Marvel was actually named Marvel. I think we talked about this a little bit before in another episode. He's a Kree, an alien. For those unfamiliar with the Marvel lineage, Kree is the race of alien that Ronan was from Guardians of the Galaxy, the blue guy with the big hammer.
But
Which
Ronan
we've
was
seen in the trailer.
bad guy.
Yes, yep, bad guy.
But
He's a Kree.
Not all Kree are bad people.
No,
He was a Kree.
No, but the Kree, I guess they're like a very military-driven race of people, and he was like a Kree nationalist or something like that.
Okay.
So
Peyton Manning's a quarterback, but he's a bad quarterback.
he's a bad.
See, it's like
yeah,
that.
Exactly.
It's same species, but bad.
Yeah. He's about as quarterback as Marcus
Sorry.
writing comics.
Yeah.
Carry
Anyway,
on.
So the way they did this one is they went with Carol Danvers. Carol Danvers initially came to the books as an I think she was an Air Force pilot in the 70s. They used her very much as a gender equality pusher back in the day. So she got into the Air Force, I think got into the CIA, like a special assignment thing. And Marvel was on Earth in disguise. And in typical good old Stan fashion, Marvel fashion, there's a giant explosion in a science lab.
Wait, what?
You never heard that one? Oh, they used to give people superpowers with explosions. So
all the people's come out.
This giant.
That's why I'm always trying to get exploded. But
Me too. Me too. You know how many times I've jumped in front of like a toxic truck? I'm like, come on, super hearing. Never works out. I just get these weird lumps. So
gross.
So anyway, so there's a giant explosion from some insert scientific name collider here.
Yeah.
Marvel shields Carol Danvers' body, and in the explosion absorbs a bunch of Kree DNA and gets her power set. And she was called Miss Marvel.
Okay. But now there's a Miss Marvel that's not this.
There is. So there's two Mantles. There's a Captain Marvel and a Miss Marvel, and they flip monikers.
Okay.
So Captain Marvel's power set, so Carol Danvers' power set is she's Superman in the Marvel world. She's basically a total MacGuffin. She's like unpenetrable. Super
MacGuffin.
I know, me too.
But I don't think
super speed, flight, invulnerability, stamina, health regeneration, energy projection. She's like every X-Man put together. It's kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
And
makes it tough to write for the character, much in the same way it does for Superman.
Yeah. And then they had a whole thing in the 80s where she lost the Miss Marvel title, and it was really kind of crazy because if I remember correctly, in the 80s. So first off, at one point in time, she was in outer space and she was dating another alien guy. And seriously,
as one does, yeah.
Like, and I remember it was a big deal that they broke up, and he like brainwashed her and basically took her back to space and like raped her and had a kid. It was kind of fucking weird. That's why they kiboshed the character for a while.
Interesting. I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Happy International Women's Day, folks.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like he mind controlled her into thinking she was in love with him. They had a kid, and the kid they put the kid like in some kind of science thing, regenerate it to make a clone of typical Marvel space shit. Dead serious.
I missed all of this.
Oh yeah, no,
I wouldn't say I missed it.
No.
Yeah,
it happened. So then she came back as Binary, which was a cosmic entity kind of Phoenix type thing that invaded her in the X-Men books.
Okay.
And then she also was in the X-Men books as Warbird, and she was a pilot for the X-Men for a while.
Okay.
And then they rebooted her, and she came back as Miss Marvel in the... I forget when exactly. I think that's when she got the black and gold costume. And then,
Is that around like Dark Reign time? Like
maybe.
2000?
Maybe.
None of that matters.
It's just,
I don't know any of that.
It's the typical Marvel.
I know the costume,
900
but
names,
I can't
900, that Marvel likes to do that.
All I care about is in movie universe, which is the one I'm following.
So in
the first reference that we kind of saw to it was Samuel L. Jackson whipping out some kind of special pager. Space pager and hitting it as he got dusted. Right? Yep. So this movie doesn't directly follow that. This is earlier.
It's a direct tie-in to it.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks like in the trailer that I think they kept the Air Force thing. She's a pilot, goes into space, gets like a Kree blood transfusion, gets powers kind of thing. That's what it seemed like from the trailer.
She bleeds Kree blood.
She does. Yeah. She's green blood. So they're doing the Captain Marvel more like it is now. Like she was the head of one of the teams in Civil War II. Like Chris said, she's an Avenger team leader now. So we'll see how it goes.
Let's not bury the lead. We get Skrulls.
We do get Skrulls. We don't get the Super Skrull, but we get Skrulls, which...
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
Yeah, man.
So once again, if you're unfamiliar, the Skrulls are another one of Marvel's alien races. They are shapeshifters. In the comics, they had been on Earth for a long time. You find out at one point in time in the books that a lot of your favorite heroes were actually Skrulls this whole time. I think Namor was a Skrull. Elektra was a Skrull.
Leaning into that secret invasion storyline for another movie.
Which would be a nightmare in a movie because you just can't do it properly. It's too much to fit in a movie. But
it's going to be like trying to do Crisis.
Yeah.
On DC, it's going to be next to impossible.
Yeah, like they tried to do like Civil War. Technically, it was a decent movie, but they shouldn't have tried to do it in one movie.
It wasn't Civil War.
It wasn't Civil War at all.
Kind of like Batman v Superman. You didn't need to bring Doomsday into that movie.
No, you didn't.
That's movie 3.
Or Martha. You could have Martha at home too.
You could have done 2 separate ones.
So
Martha.
It only took us 10 minutes before Neg showed up.
Yeah.
So
Neg is Chris's new current nickname for TJ, who is currently lately been shitting on everything left.
The so yeah, so I said the hope for this is they want to have her, I think, lead the Avengers in 3. Chris Evans' contract is up. He wants to retire from acting. Yeah. So Endgame's coming out. You're probably going to see
protest Trump professionally.
Probably, I guess. So you're either going to see Steve Rogers probably die. I'm hoping they don't do the death. I hope they do the rapid aging thing they did in the books when Steve Rogers all of a sudden reverted back to an 85-year-old man.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Steve Rogers die, but you're going to, whether this movie ends up being good or not, which we'll find out in about 25 minutes or so, she's going to be your new Avengers leader, I think.
We'll see.
So get used to it.
All I know is
this will usher in the next phase.
I'm going in with almost no baggage, no expectations, but if Marvel has expectations that this is going to somehow anchor things, it seems a little riskier than necessary.
Yeah, especially because, like we said, is you just had Black Panther make $1 gazillion, and everybody loves it for the most part.
Right. Why don't you decide to have Black Panther lead the next phase of the Avengers? I was going to
say, but do you think there's any risk there? They've actually cultivated over the last 10 years a fan base that it doesn't matter. We throw you in tights. They're going to be on. People will be there to watch.
Exactly. They'll be their bells on.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to make $800 million instead.
The experience of people watching me in tights on the big screen will be akin to the snap of Thanos. Half of them will probably turn to dust.
It's actually you in the singlet fighting Sean.
Oh, there we go.
That's
no. There is nothing about that is appealing.
Man, we had.
You try to market
Godzilla versus.
We had a Twitter rampage this week. It was hilarious. Like myself, Jamie. It was just from the Wayne Foundation. It was hilarious. So go back forward.
I guess I saw some of that.
Chris put up his sidetrack. So Chris put up his picture of all his Kevin Smith hockey jerseys.
Right. But it led to just
a 2-hour
back and forth.
It started to boo-hoo, quit buying all the hockey jerseys so I can have one too. Just kind of fucking around with them, and it was a fun day. I needed that this week because I had a long week, and that was like.
It was a good couple hours.
Yeah, it was a good little bright spot in the week. So the last 2 weeks have been hell for me at work. So it was nice to have like a couple hours. I'm like, oh, okay.
I had a hell travel experience, but none of that matters. We can touch on that, in a couple of weeks.
We'll do that. So she's gonna be the leader.
Let's go out to the movies. Let's go out to the movies. That's not. Yeah, nobody will sue us for that.
Yeah. Well, actually,
in fact, that's probably public domain.
That song's public domain.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it is. Because that's why
I got scared for a second because they do play it in the sci-fi at Disney.
Yeah, they will. We use that as the intermission song on our Aquaman episode. I'll probably use it on this one too. In between. Yeah, it's public domain. I found out.
There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, she's Air Force pilot, given alien powers, comes back to Earth. She's super strong. So it's gonna be interesting to see this one because I don't know. I hope if they're going to show some weakness in her in this one, which she really doesn't have any. It's going to be interesting because in theory, you think in Endgame, she's just going to show up and just uppercut Thanos into the fucking sky. So it's going to be kind of...
She has the ability to absorb powers, right?
Oh, yes, she does. She also has energy absorption and disbursement. So she's basically Cyclops and Bishop and Superman and the Flash all put together. So there
are theories out there that she could absorb the power of the 6 stones, and that's how Thanos gets defeated.
Yeah. I don't know.
She's basically the Thanos.
I just want to see Thanos, face down with the gauntlet protruding from his nether regions after she's done with him.
It's like a gauntlet
I'm sure it's fused to his arm now. Have you seen the art?
I haven't.
They've shown the art of Endgame. Mm-hmm. The book, I think, just got released. Oh, it's going to be released, but you can pre-order.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they're showing it, and the gauntlet's essentially fused to his charred arm.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's going to be weird. Like we were saying, you had just had Black Panther come out, which was a huge success critically. Got first supermovie ever be nominated for an Oscar. Yep. People adore it. Live by it as like a code of conduct kind of thing. And then you had Spider-Verse come out,
which won an Oscar.
It's obviously not a Marvel movie. Won an Oscar, and what we just talked about last week was phenomenal.
Yeah, love it.
So, unlike the DC movies where Aquaman just had to be good to make some money,
right?
Which it was great.
Yeah.
And Shazam just has to be like good with a little bit of heart to make some money, and it's still should step up. They are expecting so much out of Captain Marvel, and I don't know if she can jump over the hill because the bar's been set so high by them.
But is that set by Disney or the fans?
Yeah,
the fans
are
a good
question. Yeah,
the fans. Oh, definitely the fans.
The technology's there to do the character.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're having to reinvent the wheel with any of this.
This is true.
You can stamp these things out at this point.
No, it is going to be interesting to see if the de-aging of Samuel L. Jackson for 2 hours ends up driving you nuts.
Holds up, yeah.
See how that goes?
I don't care what he does. He can be in anything.
I know.
He could be playing Captain Marvel and I'd be fine.
Is he going to say motherfucker or fucker anywhere in a Marvel Captain?
He will not. However, did you see?
Of course he hasn't.
There's a meme going on Facebook, and it's a picture of Samuel Jackson like in a white fuzzy turtleneck.
The polo
all soft
sweater.
lit, and it just says "motherfucker," a fragrance by Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yes. Yeah,
oh my god, I would actually buy that fragrance. So you're gonna get Captain Marvel. You're gonna get the Skrulls. Oh yeah, we talked about the Skrulls. You're gonna get the cat.
Yeah. Don't tell me anything more.
You've seen the cat.
We'll be right back thinking, letting you know what we thought.
Yeah, we're going to let that sink in. So it will be spoiler free. We're not going to spoil anything. And we'll see if we can get the kids' thoughts on it too and see how this one goes. See if this is worth seeing or is it just a speed bump to get to the real Captain Marvel movie in a couple weeks. We'll find out. Okay, so that was fun.
Yeah. We have seen the movie.
Yes, movie seen.
In addition to DJ, Chris, and Sean, we have a couple of guests that saw the movie with us.
Why don't you girls identify yourself for the crowd? Who goes?
I'm Harley. I'm Athena.
So we brought the brats to the movies. So it wasn't bad. It was not a bad movie. Like, it's just structurally as a movie, it was good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fine. Structurally, that's a good way of putting it. Structurally, it was fine. I mean, it had all the beats that you wanted from a movie. A little paint by numbers in a couple spots, but...
All right, Neg Jr.
No, I came out of it liking the character more than I did going in.
Yeah.
Brie Larson was much better than I thought she was going to be. But they didn't give... Any of your early marketing didn't show any emotion out of her.
Yeah, and
there was much more depth to the character than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense. That said, my reaction... very much going in cold and not having too much. I didn't bring much into it with me.
Correct.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. It wasn't quite as elating as some of the best movies, but I'd say it was well over my expectations and fears. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I had no real complaints.
Definitely. And I guess my only pause is the fact that 10, 12 years in, I'm done with the origin stories. Like that's
But for this one, it's an origin story of somebody I don't know. It interleaves with characters that I'd seen before. We won't go too spoilery. But it interleaves with characters I'd seen before, either at different points in their history or so that didn't bug me at all because I wasn't re-seeing an origin story I'd heard or seen a bunch of different times. And it set it within the universe in a way that I liked.
Yeah, she is very unknown to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the soundtrack was a top 3.
Oh, yeah.
Beatful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's a top
they killed
soundtrack.
it with this.
That's a top 10 all-time soundtrack.
Yeah.
Brought you right back to like high school and college.
It kind of like music had the same role that in the Guardians, particularly the first Guardians of the Galaxy, it was more than just set dressing. It was anchoring and fun and tone.
Some of your action scenes were perfectly paced too.
It's good you bring up Guardians. I almost wish instead of bringing her movie now and fitting her into the second half of Avengers, they somehow brought her in earlier than we turned like the second like Guardians movie or something.
Yeah.
I think she belongs
more
in that.
But I agree.
I can see why you're saying it, but I think it takes away from the narrative.
Yeah.
If you already have the supreme being.
That's true. She is supposed to be the world beater, so we'll see how that goes.
No, you've listened to the old guys talk.
Yeah, so the target audience for this movie, the ones they want to hook into Captain Marvel books and t-shirts and jackets for the next 25 years are these two.
Yeah.
So, Athena, you are familiar with the character, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So, she has the very first appearance of Carol Danvers in the comic book.
Oh, really?
She does. She has the Miss Marvel one, like the first
Right, that's
appearance.
the black and white cover with her in a... I think I see it in my head.
Yeah, she's got the suit thing. So
it's like red, yellow, black, white. Yeah, dominant colors. Yeah.
So, and you, what was your first exposure to the character? You know her as Miss Marvel from Superhero Squad, right? Back when you were a little kid.
What's Superhero Squad?
It was like really It was for like little kids. And it kind of made all of the Marvel characters into like cutesy characters. Okay. So it was very like funny.
So and animated.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd
we on the
never heard
lines
of
of
it.
like the DC superhero girls, or even more
kiddier than that.
Okay.
Like
Prettier than that.
yeah, like Hulk would walk around eating pudding cups and stuff, and Doctor Doom was like this bumbling, like
Oh,
almost
I
like
can
a
picture it in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah, I know what you're
But
talking
It
about.
was on like the Hasbro channel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've
She was
seen
like
it.
5, but it was awesome. It was an awesome cartoon. So, and you're also a huge Wonder Woman person, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, how did it compare to Wonder Woman?
I feel like that's kind of a difficult question, only because they are different but similar.
How does she compare to Wonder Woman? Can you compare just the characters? Was it better than
Kinda.
Wonder Woman? Yes or no?
Yes,
It was a better movie than Wonder Woman?
I believe so.
Okay. But is she a better character than Wonder Woman?
That's a harder question.
That's
Yeah.
a really
Okay.
tough question.
Harley, how about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think between Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel? Which movie did you like better?
Captain Marvel.
Why?
I just like her suit.
The suits are pretty good.
The suit is balls. It's
this-
awesome.
Yeah.
This movie is much more kid friendly.
I agree.
There is no Wonder Woman is not a character that's going to lean into the mainstream. She's not going to
Yeah.
give you those lighthearted moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
DC and Marvel, DC's very dark toned and Marvel is very lighthearted
Yeah.
and speaks to like younger kids, whereas DC you have to know the characters and you have to see what's going on in a darker tone.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of not fair.
It's not.
It's true. Marvel has the cookie cutter formula
Yeah.
for this stuff.
But
DC
it
doesn't.
is tone too. I mean, this
No, it's-
the two movies. If you're taking Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, I mean, it's got World War II. It's got existential dread of
Yeah.
the
There's not
mascara.
going to be. I mean, if you go through this movie,
Yeah.
you could make the argument that Captain Marvel was the fourth best part of this movie.
Oh, yeah,
Behind-
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Behind Samuel L. Jackson, behind Goose, and behind the damn music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
I mean,
no,
you
she
could
probably
actually-
was. Her boss fight was better than Wonder Woman's.
Yeah.
The space stuff.
I
wanna call that
yeah,
the boss fight?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the boss fight. But two things. It's not gonna. I still don't put it on par with No Man's Land.
Oh no, not even close.
It's you're not gonna get that because they got there first.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's the other thing that the fans always hold against DC is Marvel got there first for some of this.
There's a lot more discovery. Like Wonder Woman knows who she is and is kind of serious about
You-
it. Captain Marvel, a lot of what I enjoyed that wasn't in the trailers, the things that were in the trailers didn't really do much for me. The movies,
There was very little joy
the
in the
stitching
trailer.
between, there was very little joy in the trailers. The things between the trailer moments and the bits of fights made those things actually mean more to me because of how the character got to them. Like I enjoyed it way more than I thought
yeah,
I
I
would.
think it's tough for me to compare the two boss fights
Yeah.
yeah.
because one leans into a very lighthearted. I mean, they're both discovering the hero in themselves in different ways.
So the Wonder Woman boss fight still is a little too close to spacey, weird, dark things flying in the sky. Like the thing I hated most about Suicide Squad, I didn't love about the Wonder Woman boss fight because
Wonder
what's
Woman
it?
boss fight?
Artemis or
Ares.
Aries.
Ares. Right.
Oh, the final
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
See, I kind of discount that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Is that's a cookie cutter thing that I hate.
Yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
the various people she was fighting in the various times. I mean, there's some stuff I want to talk about in maybe a few weeks.
Sure.
Yeah,
After
we could
when we get to spoilers, because I found many aspects of the plot surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I
Not how she got her powers.
with that
You're in a Marvel movie. You know
Yeah.
how that's happening.
Yeah, and actually, I kind of like the way they did. No, I'm not actually with the way they and it wasn't even that much of a revamp.
Yeah.
The way they did her power set was not. I like the
It
way
was
they did it. It was
similar.
very
Yeah,
close.
they tweaked it.
It was very close. Though.
Yep.
So let me ask you this: so, as young kids, does this movie make you want to go out and buy a Captain Marvel jacket and start reading Captain Marvel comics?
No.
No, it was a fun movie to watch, but it's not going to
Yeah.
get you more deeply involved in the
Do you
character.
wish you had clothes and a super suit that could change its look the same way hers did without spoiling it?
Yes.
That was pretty rad.
Yeah, what would you make the suit look like?
Probably cotton candy colors.
Cotton candy.
New Day.
colors.
Looks like a New Day jumpsuit. No,
With a unicorn
there we
horn.
go. They did do a quick hark back to the original Captain Marvel's suit in the movie.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
recognize that. Oh, yeah?
One of it.
One of
real
them?
quick. I was
Okay.
like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Athena? You gonna chuck all your Wonder Woman stuff, get all your Linda Carter stuff in your room, and replace with Captain Marvel stuff?
God, no.
Okay. So it was a good movie. It was probably middle of the pack. It was better than Thor 2. It was better than Thor 1, probably.
Yeah.
It was better than Iron Man 2 and 3.
It was tough to be worse than Thor 2 or
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
The dark, lame world. Yeah.
I would probably watch that movie again over
Attack
Black
London.
Panther. That's just me, though. I'd probably watch it again over Black Panther.
I don't know. I haven't seen Black Panther again.
Yeah.
And
Just the action presses and the music beats and stuff.
I enjoyed Black Panther more than either of those sequels.
I have no desire to see many of the previous Marvel movies again. I'd happily see Black Panther again. Absolutely will be happy to watch this again with the kids.
Yeah. The 90s, like, fan service was pretty good. Obviously, you've seen the trailer. She falls into a blockbuster.
Yeah.
As she's walking through the blockbuster, I'm like, oh, there's Hook and there's this.
I recognize so many
Jumpin'
of the
Jack
covers.
Flash was on the back shelf. Yeah, there's a little
even though you
I
couldn't,
saw the Whoopi
they were out of
Goldberg.
focus, but you recognize.
You just started
That was
calling
the,
them off.
that was
True
the-
Lies.
Yeah. The old
Heads up.
the old
I
vi-
immediately
perfect.
saw
yeah,
that.
being an
Of
old
Office.
video store manager
Yeah.
when I was in college
Yep.
was like it was memory lane.
There were a number of things that were more than just atmosphere, but were actually anchors. Computer stuff, phone stuff,
Internet
you know,
stuff was
Vista.
yeah. Don't
Yeah.
spoil it. But
Yeah.
those of us who were there
Yeah.
saw things that were funny.
There's they had
Yeah,
a
brought you
Game
back
Boy.
25 years.
Yeah,
It does. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
To things that we're glad were 25 years in the past.
It was good. And like Chris said, the music was just it was a top notch music soundtrack. So let's talk about some individual scenes. So right off the bat, I'm not going to wait. So they do the Marvel crawl. Your typical,
That was fantastic.
It's not your typical Marvel crawl. They mix it up for this one.
Yeah.
I was in tears before the goddamn movie even started.
Yeah.
I was
damn close.
I was drying my eyes.
It was all the page flips and the panels and stuff were Stan.
It was all Stan.
Yeah.
And
I saw Harley getting a little misty-eyed too.
Yeah, it was.
The intro bugged her.
And there's a little bit at the end of the intro when they flash up some words before it goes where everybody in the theater goes, "Aw."
Yeah.
It was cool.
Which is good. I would say saved it for. I kind of wish they'd saved that for Endgame. I hope they do it again in Endgame.
They should.
They should. That
Right?
should.
Yeah,
that,
that
that-
should
they
Every
should-
movie that comes out this year, they should put that on the front.
Yeah, they should. They should run that in the beginning.
I think they should incorporate the scene where he was in Princess Diaries too.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good. They should.
that wasn't
Harley's fan.
Well, that's Disney though, so they
Disney.
could.
It is.
Yeah.
They have the rights. And then also they have the Stan cameo,
Yes.
which was again almost cried a little bit.
Yeah.
It's on the internet and stuff. So we're all big Kevin Smith people, and it's Kevin
involves
Smith. They
Kevin.
basically lump Kevin. So Kevin Smith exists in the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
which is just mind numbing. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's hilarious.
But that implies that this Stan Lee cameo is Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Right? It's not Stan
It's
Lee and
not
a janitor. It's not
playing
Stan
a
Lee in
character. It's
space.
Stan
It's
as
not
Stan.
Stan. Yeah.
It's Stan.
It's Stan.
So Stan, well, because he's one of the Watchers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just so that was good. They did that properly. That was done right, which was good. So the movie wasn't bad. It it has obviously it's a Marvel movie. It's got the budget. It looked great.
Well, I'd go beyond wasn't bad to, not that it should be a question, but if you've been a fan of the Marvel movies, this is a no-brainer must-see.
Oh, yeah.
And it's more, you'll get more out of it than just checking a box of having seen a Marvel.
Oh yeah, no,
It fits in with the recent Marvel movies for me. I mean, and it's part of it is a freshness factor, right?
Yeah.
In the early days, I watched them over and over again, and it's not. I'm not saying it's diminishing returns, but you get desensitized to a lot
Sure.
of it.
you do.
So, but no, I'm glad I saw it. I'll probably see it at least one more time, maybe two. Probably.
I
take
loved,
Mom.
personally, I loved seeing a lot of Southern California desert footage. Those are some of my favorite
Kick in the head.
places.
I saw my office building.
Yeah,
when they flashed one
yeah,
wheelchair. I'm like,
right.
I'm right behind that.
Yeah, I saw you react to that. So I loved seeing some of the desert airbase footage.
That was cool.
I did hate, though it's normal, when you crash various sorts of aircraft, particularly. Oh, I'm getting eye rolls from Harley. When things crash from being in the sky, no movie ever handles it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
and your characters don't walk away the way do in movies. But
You don't jump right into a fight scene.
yeah.
Foolish guys don't get explosions, Sean.
If they're in
The
them,
plane's
though,
going down. Everybody's
Yeah.
supposed to die.
yeah.
Essentially.
It was good,
Not
though.
always.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, like Chris was saying, he's kind of done with the origin stuff, but it's going to be weird as they go forward the next, like, say, 10 years. They're going to start introducing all these, they burnt all the big guns already.
Yeah.
So you've already had Spider-Man and Thor and Iron Man and all that stuff. Now you have to start getting into the, what are you going to do? You're going to do
What you're saying?
Moon Knight?
Moon Knight could play so easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to start doing the
Batman
kids and
was-
stuff, the second hot. I mean, you're going to start introducing some origin stories.
Well, you're
People
starting
don't
to
age
see-
in animation, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Animation will be a big part of it, and you're starting to see some of those main characters go to TV.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
end up on the Disney app.
Yeah, but the money, the box office money is too grand for them to abandon it. So as they start having to do this, like, Avengers Team B, I don't know who they're going to draw for characters. What are you going to do? I mean, Hulk's an easy one. You could always you could do She-Hulk and stuff. Everyone knows how the Hulk becomes Hulk and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know
always-
anything about She-Hulk, so
Hulk's another tough one. It's always hard
Yeah.
when you have one of those characters like a Superman or Hulk to make it interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause they can
Where's
just
the
wipe
threat?
floor.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with her. It's like, I hope,
They-
what's going to be her arc in the end game where
I will-
it's like the
without-
resistance.
Without giving any spoilers, I actually found that kind of interesting the way they played that.
Yeah.
Because her as a character would be just as hard to write.
Yeah.
yeah.
You needed to find that thing to kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you might not get away with some of the way that they tempered that in this film.
Oh,
in a
that's
future film.
yeah.
right?
No, it's
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, so overall, good. It's not the best Marvel movie they've ever made. It's not the worst. It's probably the top third.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. Don't listen to these people.
No,
Oh,
I did. No, I did too.
definitely
But I'm saying, if you had to scale them, it's in the top. It's a top third movie. It's not better than
Okay,
Winter Soldier.
that's
We're going to
fair.
ask the same question that we
Yeah.
asked of the girls. No, Sean, is this going to make you go out and buy any more books? Are you going to dive deeper into the Captain Marvel mythos?
Absolutely not. Right, but
There you
I.
go. So
But
it
I'm
was
buying fewer and fewer books all the
It
time.
was a fine popcorn movie.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's cinematic cotton candy. You enjoyed it while you were in there. Now it's gone.
No, but let's just say if say they won't, but let's just say in Endgame she dies.
Yeah.
Am I going to have the same attachment to that as I did when Tony got stabbed in Avengers?
No.
Oh hell no.
You got to earn that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
You
no,
do.
no question.
You got to assume that she's going to.
Yeah.
How else are you going to get Kamala Khan in there?
Oh, don't you even. They're the new Mrs. Marvel. We'll get into that some
Oh,
other day.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, I'll
This
give it.
age of diversity.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
only
I'll give
a
it.
matter of
I mean,
time.
I'll
Don't
give
get
it.
DJ started.
No, I'll give it a good old fashioned 8. I'll give it a good old fashioned 8.
Okay.
Okay, Athena,
A scale
I've
1 to 10.
Never been good at scaling.
there's no right or wrong answer. What do you think?
I'd probably give it an 8 too. Like it could have been better, but it was still very good.
But Wonder Woman still rules the female heroes for you. She's still the goat.
She will always be my favorite female hero.
Okay.
Harley,
8.
and why?
I just like the stuff they do. I thought it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. John,
Eight's a good number for me. I don't like overinflating things, but I enjoyed it as much as most movies I've enjoyed
yeah.
recently.
it's-
Right?
For me, it's in that same 7-8 range.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. I mean, you could nitpick any of these things if you wanted to.
Yeah.
The one thing I leaned over to Sean at one point towards the end. And I'm like, okay, we're dumbing this down a little bit too much.
Yeah.
We're getting a little too on the nose with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, look, all the puzzle pieces fit together.
Yeah. there
Yeah.
was-
Hey, hold on. Let me make sure this fits together.
That's
that kind of stuff gets me, but I got to understand Marvel is not making movies for the comic fans.
Yeah.
Mainly because they don't have many comic
Well,
fans anymore.
I am not a
They've driven
Marvel
more.
comic fan. I am a Marvel comic movie fan.
I'm a Marvel comic
Right.
character
It's
fan.
it's interesting. Marvel, the movie started with one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah.
I loved Iron Man.
Yeah.
But that's because I could get my head around the fact that a rich guy could just spend a ton
suit.
of money
Yeah.
and build a suit. You know what I'm saying? Like Batman.
Yeah.
Imagine
It's-
that.
hey,
Chris and
Billy-
David started dancing under their sky by stuff.
Oh, that's it. With the jealousy
Man,
flow.
Oh,
wrapped,
it is.
in,
It is.
wrapped in clothing and
You
memorabilia
actually
to
thought
protect
you were going to get a
himself.
hockey jersey one of these days. It is now my quest to make sure you never acquire
I'm
one.
getting kicked off my own podcast.
No, because that's grounded in reality.
Yeah, no.
The glowy people up in the sky, oh, they're cool and they're fun to watch and they look good on screen.
That's true.
But you could understand somebody that could just go buy toys.
Oh yeah. Like my favorite Marvel guy's always been Cap. I'd say Captain America, even though it's not as grounded as a rich guy, but it's a guy who got injected with some.
It's all fist
stem
fights.
cells.
He's not.
He's all HGH.
Yeah.
But it's hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
exactly.
no-
And it's
He's not
happened in
shooting
real life.
with
They did to
frickin'
Barry
lasers
Bonds.
or anything, you know?
Very
Yeah, they did to Barry Bonds. It's hit 70 home runs.
Yeah, there you
Super
go.
Soldier Serum. Same thing.
stuff.
His head grew and
Same
everything.
stuff.
Yeah. Stronger.
super slugger serum.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it wasn't bad. So it's gonna be like we'll have to take the kids again to the Captain Marvel 2, the Shazam movie. We'll have to compare it to. So that's the thing. We're gonna compare it to Shazam
Yeah.
So
because Shazam
watch
is also supposed to be kind of like lighthearted, has to fight a bad guy, and unknown hero doesn't know what to do with their powers.
Well, that's because he's also a kid who gets powers
Yeah.
Yeah.
that turns him into.
There's an
Physically
inherent
turns him into a
humanization when it's an origin story, but we're going to see him and him being a kid. He's even probably more a little identifiable for those of us that are internally immature. But seeing him struggle through that is inherently.
And no one really knows the character.
Yeah.
no, I think that's where DC has a little bit of a clean slate with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's no expectations going in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Marvel's feeding you the cookie in the last one saying, come on, you know you want more.
Yeah.
Plus,
You got to come watch it. See what I'm going to show you.
Yeah, the other thing Marvel did too that I think they were trying to do it for the right reasons, but might actually have hurt them in the long run is that the last year or two or three since you knew this was coming up, they have not rammed Shazam down anyone's throats. They rebooted the series. You know, Johns is doing the series, which is good.
Oh,
but that
right.
was it. With
Yep.
Captain Marvel, they rebooted. They did like 3 new books. They put her in the front of Civil War. They
put her colors
crammed
all
her
over
down your
yeah.
throat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was front and center everywhere.
So, in that sense, like as big as they wanted her to be, I don't think she's going to live up to what they wanted. She's not going to become your new Iron Man.
You saw her down at Disney Springs.
I know.
Comics were all over that store.
the freaking
months
trains
and months in
and
advance. Disney went the same thing.
Yep.
It was
Dolls are-
everywhere.
Yeah. So was it a fine movie? It was a fine movie, but I don't buy her as like the next generation of Marvel hero.
And I get it. It's a big corporation. Disney's a marketing company that makes movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I only care about the movie, so so I'm interested to see what
Yeah.
happens. But
We're
and
happy that you're
definitely
happy.
right. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
I'm happy with it, but I'm not buying any more
No.
stuff or affected
Exactly.
by it.
However,
yeah.
no, like, if they get 2 more movies in on her and they decide at Disney, be like, okay, we're going to come up with a ride where they're going to lay you down flat and you're going to spin around with lights and stuff like that and fly through space and fight ships and stuff like that, I would ride it.
If they do that, they might
used
as
to have-
well just
they had
change
those at
Mission
Six
Space.
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
something
You
like
could
that.
do it inside. It'd be a dark. Write that
Dark
down.
ride,
Make that
yeah.
ride.
She just
Get on
said
that.
it, yeah.
Get on the ride.
Mission Marvel Space.
There we
Wait till
go.
they buy Universal, they'll get all the rights back, and then they can do a Marvel land.
Exactly. Okay, so I think we had, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Just fine. 8, it didn't change the world or nothing like that, but that's okay. That's fine.
It makes me want to dust off the old cassettes or some probably CDs by that point.
Oh yeah, no, the No Doubt's going on the radio on the way home.
Oh, yeah.
It's on my phone.
Yeah, I went right back to the garbage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good CD. That was
Only
a garbage
have it
CD.
when it rains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw them on their first tour. They played the center with Smash Pumpkins.
Yeah, I remember.
Smash Pumpkins reference in the movie too. I was excited for that. The melancholy and anything sad.
Oh yeah, on the posters. Yeah,
I
by
was like,
the
man.
Harley
by
was
the
a
what
little
was that
excited.
thing on the wall?
Which
The
one?
Payphone.
Oh yeah, the payphone.
Harley was a little excited when she saw all the Guns N' Roses
Oh yeah, yeah.
T-shirts and tickets.
Yeah.
You pointed it out to me.
You were excited by it? No,
Yeah,
she
not
refused.
really.
No, yeah,
He's just saying that.
I love her.
Thanks for joining us, girls.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I'll see you guys for Shazam. We're gonna force you down here
Yeah.
again.
And
You-
we're going to get you back on here
yeah, we'll,
so you can give your opinion again.
exactly. We'll unhook the weights from your ankles right as soon as we shut it off. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.
See you guys.